All right, boys. It is officially Aquarius season, so if you are new to my channel, my name is Lorraine, and I love going over everything astrology, especially sun-moon combinations. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Aquarius Sun with Libra Moon. So I'm going to start off the video by talking about what a typical Aquarius Sun is like, and then I will get into the moon placement and talk about how the moon probably affects certain aspects of the sun sign. So if there's certain parts of my Aquarius Sun description that don't quite fit or don't really resonate with you, then hang on until you hear my description of your moon sign and how they interact with each other, and then it will probably tie together quite nicely and make a lot of sense. Now, before I get started, I want to let you know that once a month I'm giving away a free astrology birth chart reading. So if you want to know how you can enter into this draw and potentially get a free reading from myself, which would cover more than just your sun and moon sign like in this video, then stay tuned till the end and I'll let you know how to enter. But now let's dive into Aquarius Sun. So Aquarius Suns are very easygoing, patient, unique, and intellectual. They're definitely the most opinionated air sign. Libra and Gemini, they do like learning about information and having ideas, but I find that they tend to kind of be pretty airy about how much they stick to those opinions. Aquarius is a lot more opinionated, and they are a lot less likely to bend to other people's opinions and other people's like pressure to agree with them. Aquarius is far more likely to be opinionated and refuse to conform to what other people think. Because a lot of the time when you're opinionated, you're going to have some pushback or conflict from other people that don't agree with you. And I find that Gemini and Libra are the two air signs that are far more likely to kind of cave to some pressure or just understand both sides or just want to get along. Aquarius is a little less like that. They're far more likely to stand firm in their opinions. The nice thing about Aquarius though is they tend to, like, despite their strong opinions, they tend to not be very judgmental of others for their differing views. In fact, I find Aquarius can have quite a bit of respect for other people's viewpoints if they, aren't aggressive or mean about it. Basically, if two people are able to just have differing viewpoints and actually have a real conversation, and if Aquarius is able to understand like how people got to that understanding or that belief or that opinion, they're pretty likely to kind of understand and not be super judgmental about it. They don't easily get offended. Aquarius is not an emotional placement, and they're quite objective, and so they tend to have kind of a live and let live mentality. So the only time in Aquarius is not those things, where they're the time that an Aquarius is judgmental and does not have a live and let live mentality is if they feel like the other person, or if someone is infringing on either their freedom or someone else's freedom in some way, or has an opinion that is potentially harmful or something like that. So Aquarius is very concerned about freedom and individuality. And so if someone has an opinion that's, say, very narrow-minded, or it kind of infringes on people's ability to be an individual and a free-thinking individual, then that's when Aquarius can be kind of judgmental and stick up for people. They love to, Aquarius is a very rebellious placement, and they love to stand up for other people, and they love to stand up for causes. So you'll probably tend to see, like, if Aquarius is standing up for some kind of cause where they want to create change of some kind, it usually has to do with freedom and individuality and kind of unity. They want people to be able to stand up for like this unity and this collective ideal of some kind. And that's kind of what you see happening lately with what's going on with Wall Street bets on the stock market. Saturn and Jupiter entered into Aquarius. First we had the Great Conjunction, and now they're both transiting through Aquarius throughout this year. And I had said in one of my transit videos that I think you're going to start see some kind of uprising and rebellion when it comes to freedom and wanting people to have like their collective freedoms, and people kind of being more united and banding together to create some sort of freedom when it comes to authority, government, work, finances, that sort of thing. And so we're starting to see that. And that's just pinnacle Aquarius, is rebelling to create some sort of change in the direction of freedom and standing for a collective cause. So Aquarius is also known for being quite aloof. That comes from being very independent and just wanting their own individuality and freedom. So they can come across across quite aloof. They're just not a very emotional placement. They don't get easily worked up. But despite that, they do enjoy relationships with like of all kinds, romantic, friendship, otherwise. They enjoy getting to know lots of people, and they enjoy connecting with people, and they can be a very reliable and faithful friend as long as that person doesn't infringe on their independence and their freedom. So it can come across to other people as them being very cold when they have this relationship with a person, whether it's a friendship or romantic or a family, a member of some kind. They can have what feels like a very close relationship. They get along really well, and the Aquarius Sun is really easy to get along with. You know, they're the kind of people you can just hang out in their company and in their presence, and you don't really have to try super hard, right? And they're not the kind of people that you have to like plan some big thing to do with them. Like, they're the people that you could just like sit in silence with and actually enjoy their company. And you could do this if it has been like a year since you've seen them. You know, Aquarius Suns don't need a lot of attention. They don't need to be in constant contact. But you can pick up where you left off, even if it's been a long time since you've seen them. Now, the where Aquarius comes across as very cold and detached is because their individuality and their freedom is the most important thing to them. And so they can have a pretty good relationship with someone. Like I mentioned, it doesn't have to be romantic. So they can have this relationship with a person and seem quite close and get along really well. As soon as that person, though, is infringing on their independence and freedom, that is when Aquarius is able to drop them like a hot sack of potatoes and cut them off, essentially. So that's where, to other people, that seems very cold and, oh, like, how could you do that if, like, you know, we're close friends or we're dating or whatever it is. As soon as an Aquarius feels trapped, they are gone. And so that's just how they operate, because for them, the number one most important thing to them is their individuality and their independence and their freedom. And so as soon as you are going for that, they are out. And this can depend on the moon placement, which we will get to. Now, lastly, about Aquarius Sun is they, like I mentioned, are so concerned with being an individual and being unique. And sometimes I feel like the Aquarius puts like so much pressure on themselves to be unique and intellectual and different. You know, they're the kind of people that are into like conspiracy theories and alien life and just a lot of cool stuff, you know. But sometimes they can be so concerned about you being unique and being different and going against social norms that sometimes they just do it for the sake of being different or the sake of being unique. Not all of them, but some do. It's just that's so important to them that like it's almost as if sometimes I think Aquarius's self-worth is attached to how unique they are and how how special they are compared to other people. I think Aquarius's biggest fear would be being average or being mediocre. So sometimes I feel like they put too much pressure on themselves, or they're so concerned with being unique and being different that sometimes they do it just for the sake of being unique and different, even if that's not truly who they are or what they're interested in or want to do. Now, before I get started on the moon sign, I just wanted to let you know about the Kickstarter campaign that I have officially launched. At the time of recording this is how much I have raised already, and I would really appreciate if you would check it out if you enjoy the content that I'm making. This Kickstarter campaign will be helping fund the content that I'm making for this YouTube channel, like the sun-moon combinations, and it will also help fund the making and printing of this beautiful tarot deck. So I will leave a link in the description if you want to check that out. In the meantime, let's get back to today's video. So now we get to Libra Moon. So Libra and Aquarius are trine each other. They're both air signs, and so this is a pretty harmonious relationship. So Libra Moons have a taste for the finer things in life. They really love beauty, refinement, grace, sophistication, and aesthetics. Libra Moons tend to kind of look at the world with a little bit of rose-colored glasses to a degree, just in that they love beauty and beautiful thing and aesthetics, and they're really drawn to arts and creativity. And they can tend to kind of fall in love with or be enchanted with the idea of love versus what it's actually like, versus the actual emotions and what it's truly in real life like to be in love. They're more just enchanted by like the fairy tale romance sort of thing. Libra Moons do not respond well to negative people or rude, abrasive, or just impolite people in general. They're very diplomatic. Libra moons are known for being very diplomatic and able to see both sides of really any situation or any disagreement or differing opinions of some kind. They're able to get along with all kinds of people as long as they're polite. But they tend to have surface level connections because they really kind of agree with everyone to a degree, and it's usually just because they hate conflict. They absolutely abhor conflict and will avoid it at all costs, and they're just able to understand both sides. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're agreeing from a place where they truly uphold and stand for this ideal and this opinion and belief for themselves. So as a result, their connections can be a little surface level because they're able to understand all sides and see that all sides have merit, but they don't truly uphold one opinion or another. And that's one of their ways that they avoid conflict because, usually when you have a strong opinion of some kind or a controversial opinion, then you're going to be met with some sort of conflict or pushback for having that opinion. And so as a result, sometimes Libra moons, the negative tendency is that they can be seen as kind of spineless because they just hate conflict so much, and so they just want everyone to get along. So they're able to play both sides and see that both sides are all sides and all opinions have merit of some kind without really standing up for that opinion on themselves. So I see this being a pairing that really loves creativity and arts, and just it's a pretty compatible pairing because Aquarius loves being intellectual and pursuing being unique and being different in some way, and the Libra moon loves aesthetics and beauty and that sort of thing. So they're probably drawn to the arts and creative endeavors. The issue though with this pairing is that the Libra moon kind of undermines the Aquarius's strong opinions and how the degree to which they are opinionated, because the Libra moon really doesn't like conflict and they want to hear both sides. It does go along quite well with the Aquarius Sun's live and let live approach to things and how they tend to not be judgmental. With Aquarius, like I mentioned, they tend to the times where they are judgmental or very firm in their opinions and don't have that live and let live mentality is if someone is infringing on their freedom and individuality in some way or someone else's ability to be free or unique. And so having the Libra moon though means that they are probably a little less likely to really stick up for some sort of change. What you might see happening is this initially the Aquarius Sun initially standing up for I'm wanting to rebel, and then as soon as the conflict arises and as soon as the pushback arises, they might crumble a little bit and be actually I can see what your side is saying, but it's kind of mean, but I get it. So something like that. I don't know. At the end of the day, Aquarius is very idealistic and utopian even, and Libra wants everyone to get along. So they could just go about it in let's go about this the least conflict way possible to achieve unity, and let's all get along. So that is all I have planned for today's video. Thank you for watching all of the way through. As promised, I wanted to let you know how you could enter to win the free birth chart reading. So all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and then comment below the video letting me know that you have done so. When you've done those two things, both of those, then you will be entered to win a free birth chart reading from myself, and then I will announce the winner at the end of the month. I'll release a video on the last day of each month, and that's how you'll be able to watch to find out if you've won. So stay tuned for that, and good luck. And if you're feeling generous, you could give this video a like and potentially check out my Kickstarter campaign. That is all for now. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more. I hope to see you again. Take care.